Welcome back. As you know, I am Eli, the computer guy, here for your daily dose of the roars as we scream about the stuff going on in the world of technology. Do remember I do these videos in order to support Silicon Dojo, silicondojo.com, free hands-on technology education in Durham, North Carolina. If you're interested, take a look at the website at silicondojo.com to see what our schedule is. And with that, good news, or news, I suppose. It does look like Meta is continuing to push into the AI space, and they're going to be coming out with their new products, Mango and Avocado, in 2026. So basically, Meta burst onto the AI scene a year and a half ago with their Llama models, right? Llama 3, and these were not open source. They were very permissively licensed models, to be clear, not open source, but they came out on the scene and they were actually pretty darn good, right? So these were free models that almost anybody could use and be commercialized and redistributed in the whole nine yards, and everybody clapped and everybody was surprised because look at how good Meta was doing. And then they worked really hard and they pushed really hard, and Mark Zuckerberg spent a tremendous amount of money, and then they came out with Llama 4, which, as far as I've been able to tell, kind of sucks donkey balls. Was not considered very good. And the issue you have with Mark Zuckerberg is, like, Mark Zuckerberg can't just fucking do something. He can't just decide to do something and put some money on the table and see where it goes, right? It's the modern world of Silicon Valley, and they got to rah everything. Everything has to be going to the moon. They always have to be the best at everything that they do. And so the issue was, right, they came out with Llama 3, and they actually did a very good job. They got kudos and plaudits and all that kind of stuff for that. And then Mark Zuckerberg's like, yes, imagine what we're going to do in the future. And they came out with Llama 4. And, you know, it just wasn't that good. It just wasn't that good, especially with all the competition that has shown up in about that year since when 3 dropped to 4 dropped. Came out as basically a bit of a wet fart. And so the issue is Mark Zuckerberg has to prove why he spent tens of billions of dollars in this AI race for Meta. And so now, next year, they're going to be coming out with these new models, Mango and Avocado. So Mango is a image generation. I think it's an image video generation model. Avocado is more like an LLM model. The curious thing about this too is it does appear that they're going to be going to closed source. So Llama 3 was not open source, but also wasn't closed source. Again, very permissive model. I think what's interesting with Avocado is it looks like they're going to be going more to the closed source, so it's going to be going behind their walls, which again is also kind of like a weird, I don't know. This is all just a weird path. I don't understand the whole AI race. Again, LLMs I get, multimodal models I get, world models, neural networks. Like, I understand the technology. I just don't understand what these people are doing with the technology. You're just like, what? But that doesn't make any sense. Anyways, Meta Platforms is writing a technological offensive for 2026, developing a suite of next-generation AI models designed to challenge the dominance of OpenAI and Google, the Wall Street Journal reported on Thursday. This is the other thing that I don't understand. That is very fucking weird about all of this. Why the hell is Meta trying to challenge the dominance of OpenAI and Google? Like, fundamentally, that doesn't make sense. I talked about this. We did a video recently where Apple is coming out with their new AI chip, Ballrock or something. Anyways, I don't know. They're coming out with a new AI chip for inference, and they're going to be using it up on their infrastructure. So they're not selling this chip. They're not really promoting it to the world. It is just going to their infrastructure. And it's interesting what Apple is doing, right? So Apple is coming out and they say, look, we theoretically understand the value of artificial intelligence. So we are going to find problems that our users have that artificial intelligence could solve, and then we're going to build those solutions into our cloud infrastructure so that our users get the benefits of AI. Wow, think about that, right? They're not going out there and trying to recreate the LLM. They're not creating world models. They're not doing basically what everybody else in the world is doing. They're looking at this technology and they're going at it from a slightly different angle. Will it work? Who the hell knows? But at least it's different. At least it's different. What I don't understand, whether you talk about OpenAI, whether you talk about Google, whether you talk about Meta, whether you talk about Microsoft, whether you talk about all these companies, is they're all trying to be the dominant company in this very, very, very specific thing without also kind of explaining what the value proposition of that very, very, very specific thing is, which is just, like I say, it's a very weird thing for me. Again, especially like you look at Meta, right? Think about artificial intelligence. When you think about artificial intelligence, there's all these different things you can do. Something to consider is things like semantic analysis. So semantic analysis is understanding the emotional state of the person communicating with your system. So what if Meta, again, Meta owns Facebook and Meta owns Instagram and Meta owns WhatsApp, right? So what if Meta focused on emotionally intelligent systems, right? There's IQ, understanding math, and there's EQ, emotions, right? Those are considered different things. And so what if Meta, again, Meta is a communication platform for connecting people together in the whole 9 yards. What if they use the neural networks and the rest of that to become the front runner of EQ-focused systems, to understand the emotional states of users, to understand the emotional states of groups of users that are using systems simultaneously, and then, do stuff based off of that, right? You could use neural networks for that. You could use NVIDIA graphics card and TPUs and all that kind of thing, right? It would be taking this concept of technology and going in a slightly different direction than everybody else, but that focuses on your actual, the demographics of the users that you have. Like why aren't we seeing that? Again, what's so fucking bizarre about Mark Zuckerberg is again, they want to be the premier AI company. At the same time, they're now going down the path of creating humanoid robots. What does humanoid robots have a goddamn thing to do with Meta? Nothing. But it's what everybody else is doing. So that's what he's doing, right? And this is what I want you to understand about the AI fraud, right? And this is why I call it the AI fraud. Because, consider this for a second. Apple is being innovative simply by wrapping artificial intelligence into their systems and providing solutions that their users actually want. Right? That is so much more innovative than damn near whatever everybody else is doing. Everybody else is just building more and more models. So anyways, again, these are some things to ponder and think about and why I keep screaming. According to the Thursday report from the Wall Street Journal, citing people familiar with the matter, the social media giant is working on a high-stakes image and video-focused AI model codenamed Mango. Because having more deepfakes on Facebook and WhatsApp, that's gonna end well. Concurrently, the company is developing Avocado, its next major text-based large language model. The new roadmap was reportedly detailed during an internal Q&A on Thursday, featuring Meta's Chief AI Officer Alexander Wang and Chief Product Officer Chris Cox. The models are expected to release in the first half of 2026, signaling a long-term play to move beyond the incremental updates of the current Llama family. The development of Mango and Avocado represents the first major output from Meta's Superintelligence Labs, a specialized division created after a major restructuring this past summer. To lead the group, CEO Mark Zuckerberg personally orchestrated high-profile recruiting efforts, poaching more than 20 researchers from OpenAI and hiring Wang, the 28-year-old founder of Scale AI, to oversee the effort. The move underscores Zuckerberg's willingness to spend aggressively to close the gap with rivals. And again, think about this in the technology world. Just the very concept that he's spending so much money to quote-unquote close the gap. Why are you running a race where you have so many other competitors? In this world where this neural network, where this technology opens up so many possibilities, and yet all these jackasses are running the exact same fucking race. During the internal session, Wang emphasized that Avocado will focus heavily on advanced coding capabilities, a traditional weak point for previous meta models compared to competitors. Where again, I mean, fine. Wow, look, hey, you know what Avocado is going to do? What? It's going to be better at coding. Oh, okay. I use Claude. I don't actually use Claude. I use OpenAI. Okay, they're going to make it better at coding. Right? Think about all these models out here. You hear Avocado is going to be better at coding. Does that make you excited in 2025, 2026? More ambitiously, Wang noted that Meta is in the early stages of developing quote-unquote world models. Unlike current LLMs that predict the next word in a sequence, world models aim to understand physical reality by processing vast amounts of visual data, which is basically what everybody else is doing too. World models is the new sexy model thing that, wait for it, everybody is going after. Cause yeah, we do not have an ounce of creativity or imagination left in our industry anymore. Everybody's just doing what the fuck everybody else is doing. So anyways, that's what Meta is doing. That's how they're pushing forward. And I think with this, right, Mango and Avocado, honestly, I'm sure they're gonna be fine. To be honest with you, I'm sure they're gonna be fine enough. But I think that's the interesting thing with it. I mean, think about this with artificial intelligence. It's artificial intelligence. And my response is like, sure, it'll be fine. What here is actually demonstrating a value proposition that people are really going to care about, especially as we start getting more and more lock-in, right? We start getting more and more legacy. This is one of the things I talk about. Right? I'm a real human being. I'm not like all of these other YouTube tech creators out there who are fake humans. I'm a real human being, right? When I buy products, I actually use them. When I give you my advice, like when I sit here and I talk about using Apple computers, this is the computer I use. When I go to class, when I do a Silicon Dojo class, you're gonna see this computer when I'm up there doing a class, because I buy the computer and then I actually use it. Call me strange, right? This whole idea of swapping smartphones every 2 weeks sounds fucking horrible. Like when I buy a smartphone, I'm gonna be using that damn thing for years. Anyways, my point is here, right? I pay $20 a month for ChatGPT. I started paying $20 a month for ChatGPT like a year and a half ago. The reason for creating coding classes and the rest of it, again, syntax issues. When you flip between different programming languages, it's really easy to forget a comma or whatever else. And here's the thing, right? That's what I use it for coding, for figuring out coding problems, and I also do it for the thumbnails. And here's the thing, like a lot of people out there are like, well, Eli, Gemini Pro is better, or whatever is better. And it's like, yeah, but this is what I use. ChatGPT is not bad enough to force me to find a different product, right? I was a Windows fanboy. If you watched me for any length of a long time, you will remember when I was a Windows fanboy. I hated Mac. And then Windows 8 came out, and then Windows 8 was a goddamn disaster. And then Steve Ballmer basically said, suck it, to the customers. And that's what got me to go to Apple. I did not plan to go to Apple. I did not want to go to Apple, right? Basically, Steve Ballmer made Windows so bad, I had to look for an option. And then went to Apple, right? That's legacy. You start using something, and then you keep using that thing until something else forces you to stop, right? Again, I'm using ChatGPT. I'm going to keep using ChatGPT until Sam Altman does something. We all know he's going to do it, which is so fucking stupid. I'm going to be forced to use something else. But here's the thing. Until that point comes, I'm still going to keep using ChatGPT because it's what I'm already using, right? I have shit to do in the day. I literally have a timer. Look at this. This timer is sitting over here to make sure I don't spend any more than an hour screaming into this camera and 2 hours total doing these videos, right? I have these videos to do, I have the classes to create, I have so many other things going on in the day. I don't have fucking time to figure out 20 different versions of basically ChatGPT clones and figure out what is 1% better or 10% cheaper. Well, you know what? 20% hits a good price point, ChatGPT quality, fine enough, and I keep using it. And why I bring this up, right? So Meta comes out with their Mango and Avocado. What about this makes you think, oh, that might be valuable to change to. When you already have whatever the hell else you have in your supply chain or whatever, I do not see the value proposition here, especially when we're in 2025, right? And that's one of the big things you got to worry about with the AI world, right? So much as AI, really LLM stuff, has been brand new, right? So you go back 2 years ago, 3 years ago, this stuff comes out, everybody wants to play with all of these different things, right? That happens with all technology. It's like toys, right? It happens with all I want to play with everything. And then you get to a certain point where you find the toy you like to play with, and then that's just what you play with, right? Because it's like, right? It's not cool and sexy anymore. So anyways, I'll be curious to see what happens with Meta and this whole AI thing. And the bigger thing for anybody here that actually works for Meta, what I want you to be thinking about is, why aren't you focused on EQ? Think about this as a company. And think about synergistically. Where is the real value proposition for a company like Meta trying to figure out this whole AI thing? Isn't it not in emotion quotient, EQ versus IQ? And so why is a company like Meta so hyper-focused to do what Google and OpenAI and everybody else is doing? Why are they so bankrupt of an ounce of innovation and originality that they can't simply tweak it by a little bit to start trying to figure out things like the emotions, or something that is different, has a value proposition, and is synergistic to the core company that they already have? But anyways, it's the modern world of tech. Put your thoughts down below. Do remember to do these videos in order to fund a Silicon Dojo, authority-less gatekeeper that's free to use your hands-on technology education that empowers you to do whatever the hell it is you want to do in Durham, North Carolina. If you're interested, take a look at our schedule at silicondojo.com. If you want to support free to end user education, there's a donor box link down below. And with that, see y'all later.